Hey everybody, it's Gina here from Gina Makes It. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another journal with me. In today's video, I am starting the first few pages in my new March journal. I'll link a flip through of this journal down below in case you missed it. This journal is completely different from my last journal. It is softer, more feminine, and I dare say a bit more romantic than my winter journal. I decided to add a book plate to the inside cover, and this is a very special one. It comes from digital collection in my Etsy store, the vintage book plates, and it is of a man who is behind this ginormous book and he's reading it, and that seems to be my life lately, or the life in my dreams. I haven't really had a chance to do much reading, but that's sort of what I've been dreaming about. So I decided to add it to the inside cover, but I'm going to use a little bit of this vintage lace underneath it as a base, and I'm just cutting the edges and fraying it before I glue it down with some Fabri-Tac glue. Like most journals, I like to add my name and the month and the year to a book plate or in some sort of a journaling letter or something like that, and so that's exactly what I'm doing here. I printed this out on some photo matte paper just to give it a little bit of a deeper color, and I'm just adding my name, the month, and the year, and I am going to glue it down right there. I did go around the edges and kind of crinkled them up and added a little bit of ink to make it a little bit more distressed. So now I'm going to write a little letter to myself, and I'm using a piece of stationery from my English countryside stationery collection that is inside my Etsy store as well. And at first I was going to use the coinciding envelope, but then I decided against it, and I decided just to fold up this letter and tuck it inside of the pocket because I really liked the way that it looked. It features a vintage rose at the top, and it has like a creamy background to it. So I'm just writing about where I am in my life, where the rest of my family is, and sort of what I'm hoping to see during the month of March and that sort of thing. And so I tuck it inside of this pocket, and I decided to start working on a little project that was more of an experiment than anything. I recently began reading the Victorian magazine, and I didn't really know that it even existed until I saw an ad for it. And I went to Joann's, and I've gotten at least 2 issues, and the images inside the magazine are just so beautiful, but they are glossy, and I didn't really want something glossy inside of my journal, and so I was experimenting using some gel matte medium on top to see if it kind of dulled that gloss sheen to it, and it really did. So you can see there's this little picture of this pot full of flowers, and then there was also in the January issue this beautiful like English cottage winter landscape that really reminded me of what it looks like right now outside. Everything is still pretty brown, as you can see from the opening of my video. There really isn't much green yet in these areas, and this picture was just so indicative of what I see when I look around me, of course minus the English cottages that I would love to see around me, but unfortunately there aren't many of those in Illinois. So I am just taking my paintbrush and my gel matte medium, and I'm just literally going right over it to kind of dull that glossy sheen. And once I finish doing that, I'm going to take my little dryer and dry it and then cut out my images. Now that they are dry, I'm ready to start using them in my journal, and like I said before, I am really pleased with the way that they turned out. Earlier I was at Hobby Lobby and I bought these Tim Holtz frames. They were on sale and they were a really good price, and I really loved the way that the gold looked, and so I decided to use one of these frames on top of this image. Now I have to say, for this image in particular, I did crumple it up before I added that matte medium to it, and I tore the edges just to give it a little bit more of an old vintage look, and I love the way that this frame looks with it sort of right inside the center but kind of hanging off to the left of the picture. It kind of gives it balance even though it's not balanced. I wasn't sure if there was like a sticker on the back, so I first started trying to peel that off, but then I realized that I had to glue it, and so I just add a little bit of Fabri-Tac glue to it and I add that frame to this page. I had taped this image to this page when I first created the journal because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to use the journal, but I decided that I wanted it to have a permanent home there. So I just peel the tape off and I add some glue and I just glue it right down. So the first few pages of a new journal are always difficult for me. I'm transitioning from a different journal and I kind of got used to working in that other journal and within that style. And so now I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this new journal with all these new images. And so I do a lot of flipping back and forth just to kind of get a feel for it and to see how I want to position everything on the page. So I decide to add this image here, just leave it there taped, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to add another image underneath it. But before I do that, I decided to kind of pull up this little medallion that I had glued down just to make it look a little less neat. So I'm just kind of tearing it and crumpling the edges, and this is where I'm going to glue this image of this English countryside, this winter sort of English countryside that is very indicative of what I see around me right now. I tear the top. I'm trying to get a nice clean tear so it fits really nice on the page, and I definitely want that sheet music title to show through because it says "Just a Faded Flower," and I feel like that's really indicative of this image. I decided to flip back to the inside cover because I wasn't sure how I wanted to move forward with that other page, and so I decide to start going through a little basket of goodies, and I'm pulling out just some ephemera that I have in my stash, and I want to add these flowers around this inside, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that, and so I'm just kind of moving them around. And I really like the way that this tag looks as well. I like the pop of color that it's adding to the inside page, and I decided to do a little bit of journaling on the back of the tag as well after I glue this vellum flower down. I added some twine to the top of that tag just to finish it off, and I'm really happy with the way that that page looks. So I decide to glue this image down. This is an image that I created using some texture paste that I dyed with some paint and a stencil that I created using a die cut. I have a video on how I created this and I'll link that down below in case you're interested. I'm just gluing the tape part down because I want to have the ability to flip it up to see the image underneath it. And this is an image that is from my Hint of Spring digital collection, and it has the word solitude on it, and again it's a girl who is reading, and that is something that I'm really valuing these days lately, is just to get some time to do some reading. I feel like I'm not in the right headspace to do that. I can't concentrate, and so that is something that I'm hoping March will bring for me. But before I glue it down, I'm just kind of distressing the edges and putting a little bit of ink around it, and now I move on to this page. So I didn't really know what to do with this page when I first started working on it, which is why I flipped to the other pages. But as I was working on those other pages, I had the unbelievable desire to do some sewing on the actual cottage. And that's the beauty of having an open spine journal, is that you can take pages in and out as you see fit. You are not tied to the order of the pages. You are not tied to having the ability to sew or not sew on it. Like, you'd be definitely unable to do it very easily if it was bound into the signature. And so I pulled those pages out and I did some sewing along the rooftops of that cottage. I just had this overwhelming desire to do it, and I thought, why not? Let's just do it. And so I did, and I'm really pleased with the way that it turned out. So right now I'm just kind of adjusting my pages back into my open spine. And as I'm flipping back to that cottage painting, I realized that that solitude picture is crooked and it's bothering me. So I just kind of rip it off and re-glue it so you can't really see it underneath the flap, and it's a little bit more straightened out. I snip a few stray threads off of the picture, and while I was doing some sewing on this cottage, I also did a little bit of embroidery sewing on a piece of scrap muslin, and I really like the way that it looks kind of tucked under that left hand side. And I also found in my little basket of goodies an old butterfly that I made out of texture paste in that same video where I made that other image, and it was kind of hanging on for dear life. It was a little torn, and so I decided to do a little bit of sewing to kind of tear it a little bit, add a little bit of ink, do a little sewing in the middle, and glue it to the lower right hand side. And I think it's just the perfect image juxtaposed against this beautiful image of this cottage within this winter scene on this page next to these pictures of flowers. I just really love the way this whole creamy, neutral, pinky page is coming together. After I finish my journaling, I make sure that everything is where I want it to be, and it is, and I call this journaling session done. As always, thanks for watching my YouTube channel and supporting my little Etsy store. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next time.